Have you ever wondered what are the absolute worst matchups in League of Legends? Which champions counter which the most? What matchups are the most lopsided? Thanks to Galaxy Smash from Riot, today I'll be able to tell you what are those. Try to make your guess now. Since I'm an OG player, the most lopsided matchup I remember from the past was Cassiopeia vs Ryze. Playing Ryze vs Cassiopeia was just pure misery, and I sadly got to experience it myself. Saying it was unfun is like saying nothing, but that right now is just history. So what are the worst matchups now, at the end of Season 13? Time to reveal number 4, and that according to Galaxy Smash is Rammus vs Mordekaiser. Not a big surprise considering Rammus was never too effective versus most magic damage dealers. According to Galaxy Smash, this matchup is just similarly bad when Rammus is a jungler or a top laner. However, it's particularly hard to combine Rammus and Mordekaiser win rates because their primary roles are different. Over 80% Mordekaisers play top and over 80% Rammuses play jungle, and unfortunately, unlike Riot, we don't have a reliable website comparing champions of different roles. Furthermore, due to how jungling works, counter picks there are much less punishing than counter picks in the solo lanes. So for this specific matchup, let's have a look at Rammus vs Mordekaiser top lane matchup, despite smaller sample size. In the past 5 patches, in all of them, Mordekaiser was considered the best Rammus top counter in terms of gold difference at 15 minutes. This measure seems pretty good to illustrate the lane domination. Sample size isn't the best here, but we can see that every patch we have few hundred games between these two, and in all of those patches, the difference between Mordekaiser and Rammus in gold at 15 minutes is around 2000 gold. That's almost a full item, so this matchup is absolutely brutal. It's about to get worse though, because it's time to reveal number 3, number 2 and number 1, and I will elaborate on the top 3 worst matchups after revealing them. Number 3 is Malphite vs Sylas. Number 2 is Malphite vs Sylas. And number 1 is, you would never guess, is Malphite vs Sylas. Yes, you heard it right. But why are 3 of the same matchups here? Well, it's because it's Malphite vs Sylas who's playing 3 different roles, top, mid and jungle. But as I already said, we don't have a good database for cross-role comparison, so we cannot reliably compare all Malphite games versus Sylas jungle, for example. But fortunately, both Malphite and Sylas are frequent mid and top lane picks, so we can see how Malphite mid versus Sylas mid works and how Malphite top versus Sylas top works. Now be ready for some graphic content, because Rock Solid is about to be smashed. Let's start with Malphite top versus Sylas top. The sample sizes in here are great, because Sylas is just such a perfect Malphite counter. We can see that Sylas is often in the top 10 of the best lane counters in terms of gold at 15 minutes. In patch 13.19 he was 3rd, in patch 13.20 he is currently 2nd. But as we know, Sylas' strength doesn't come from his laning, so the gold difference is much smaller than in Mordekaiser vs Rammus case. Fortunately, in this case, we can reliably look at his win rate percentage in the matchup, and we can clearly see Sylas is by far the best pick overall versus Malphite. In terms of win rate, Sylas was the best pick versus Malphite in all of the patches, except for patch 13.18 where he was 2nd. So we already know that Sylas top is the best Malphite counter, but how dominant he really is. Let's look at it from the perspective of Malphite. After all, he is the victim, so this is gonna tell the best story. Furthermore, when Malphite plays versus Sylas in the top lane, it's only around 3% of his matchups. When Sylas plays top versus Malphite, it's over 15% of Sylas matchups. So naturally, in Malphite's case, the data because of this horrible matchup will be skewed much less. Let's have a look at the numbers. In patch 13.19, Malphite top lane had 51.42% win rate in Platinum Plus, but his win rate versus Sylas top wasn't even 43%, so the difference is almost 8.5 percentage points. In patch 13.20, Malphite top lane had 51.95% win rate, but versus Sylas, he barely got more than 42.5% win rate. So this is almost 9.5 percentage points difference. Malphite top, despite being S+ tier champion with over 51% win rate, is absolutely horrible if he has to play against Sylas. Let's also have a look at Malphite mid versus Sylas mid. We're gonna use the same patches, 13.19 and 13.20. The sample size here is few times smaller, but in both patches there were still over 1000 matchups between Malphite and Sylas, so that's a decent-ish sample size. In patch 13.19, mid lane Malphite had an average of 51.32% win rate. Sounds pretty good. What about Sylas? Well. His win rate versus Sylas was an astonishing 40.7%. Over 10.5 percentage points difference between average Malphite matchup and matchup against Sylas. In patch 13.20, mid lane Malphite had 51.8% win rate, while his Sylas matchup had sub 42% win rate. That's almost 10 percentage points difference. Some of you may rightfully say, but Vandiril, there were only 1193 matchups between Sylas and Malphite this patch, and because of this sample pool not being very big, this win rate may be slightly skewed. And I'm gonna say, you are absolutely right, my friend, thanks for pointing it out. Now it's time to use standard deviation to paint a better picture. We're gonna go with default confidence level of 95% and population proportion of 50%, as it's fairly fair to say that in League of Legends there is a 50% chance to win a game. And as we can see, our margin of error in this case is 2.84 percentage points. What does it all mean? Well, Malphite mid versus Sylas mid win rate in patch 13.20 was 41.83%. Thanks to our wonderful calculation, we can now say there is a 95% chance that the real Malphite versus Sylas win rate in the mid lane is between 38.99% and 44.67%. So even if we were really unlucky with our data because of small sample pool, the chances of Malphite actually having more than 45% win rate against Sylas are at best negligible. It's pretty fascinating that all the podium is taken by a single matchup, but that isn't really the most surprising. We all know how hard Malphite R can hit with AP scalings, and Sylas just further amplificates that. Unfortunately, Sylas just uses Malphite R better than Malphite himself, so if you are a Malphite main, it's time to ban Sylas, if you haven't done that already. What do you think are some of the other worst matchups in League of Legends? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, cheers!